on, guys? It's Pavement right here, back with another video. And today we're doing some deadlifts and some stuff like that, but I really wanted to address some of the questions, and these are questions that I get from my clients and friends and family, and a lot of people who are new to fitness ask me questions like this. So I figured, what the heck, I might as well make a video on it, and some of this stuff will spill into another video. So I guess we'll start it off with a couple of the questions I've been getting. I'm gonna break them down into 4 questions, and one of these questions is gonna be made into another video. So the first question that I get a lot is, what are the best types of cardio workouts, and like, what cardio should I do if I want to lose weight? And I'm just gonna name 3 really good forms of cardio, and I'm gonna come back to this one and make a video on that. So some of the best forms of cardio that I would recommend are something like HIIT, which is high intensity training. So that's something like if you superset a couple of workouts together, and that's good too because you get your cardio done in a short amount of time and you get a lot of stuff done. So that'd be something like if you do tire flips into box hops onto the tire into burpees, or you do like hammer slams and torso rotations and like an up down. So you throw 3 workouts in together, so you get a burst, a break, and a burst, and everything's pretty close together. So that's my first really good type of cardio, and you're doing some strength training at that. Jump rope and running. So for jump rope and running, that's something that you can do really affordably. So that's always an amazing form of cardio. Jump rope costs about maybe like $5 if you want to go expensive, $2 if you get a really cheap one, and free if you want to use a rope. So there's that. And running, you can do that pretty much anytime. Only thing I'd say for running is if you have a flat shoe like a Converse or a Vans, don't do that. Get a running shoe. You can get those pretty cheap too. So those are some really good forms of cardio. And then how to gain weight and how to lose weight. I'm also going to make that into a separate video, so we're going to touch on that a little later. And then now the title that brought you to this video, is a bigger muscle a stronger muscle? Yes and no. So there's science to debate one side or the other. So why I say yes? Relatively speaking, yes, a bigger muscle is going to be a stronger muscle because you've worked the muscle, you've brought it through the necessary stress that you need to create the micro rips and tears and stuff like that. So you're making it stronger, you're forcing it to adapt to the training that you're putting it under. But that doesn't necessarily mean that if you're bigger than someone, you're stronger than someone. So there are bodybuilders and there are powerlifters. This is an example I really like to use for, is a bigger muscle a stronger muscle? So you can have a bodybuilder, this guy's huge, he's got a 40-inch chest, and you can have a powerlifter, this guy's not as large, but he's still very well built, very muscular, and he can have like a 28 to 30-inch chest. So just from looks alone, you'll think that the bodybuilder is stronger, but the powerlifter can also be much stronger. And I know there's differences. They train, one of them trains for maximal load and moving maximal amounts of weight, that would be the powerlifter, and the bodybuilder trains for size, shape, and aesthetics, so the overall look of things. So yes and no, there's science to debate both, and I'm gonna make more videos on that one later. But to answer the question quickly, at least for the terms of this video, a bigger muscle isn't necessarily a stronger muscle. There are guys bigger than me that can outlift me. There's one guy, and if I can find it, I'll throw some clips up. I think his Instagram was at one point 148 pounds of meat, and now I think it's changed to return to the meat. This guy is about 148 pounds. This guy pulls 500 plus for deadlifts, benches somewhere in the 3s, and his squats somewhere in the high 4s, if not 5s, if I'm not mistaken. And I'll throw some clips in here and there of that if I can find it from his Instagram, and I'll link him down below if you want to check him out. And he's not asking me to do this, I don't know him, but he's a really good example of a big, smaller muscle still being a stronger muscle, because I weigh right now about 200 pounds and he can outlift me any day of the week. So that would be a really good example of, is a bigger muscle a stronger muscle? And then the second part of this question, is a bigger chest a stronger chest? And same thing, yes and no. Relatively speaking, yes. Now the reason I say yes to this as opposed to in general is, if you've worked your chest to a certain point, it can be stronger, but it also depends on what you're training for. So again, if you're training to move maximal loads, you're training for powerlifting, then yes, for sure, your chest, you're going to be able to handle more weight than someone who trains more or less with aesthetics, and they want to lift lighter weight but just look better, and they might even be a little bit bigger than you. So it goes back and forth. But overall, a bigger muscle can be a stronger muscle, but it is not necessarily a stronger muscle. It all depends on what the person is trained for. And sometimes it breaks down to genetics. Some guys are just genetic monsters, genetic freaks. So it depends. But to answer the main question of this video, is a bigger muscle a stronger muscle? Yes and no. But I'm going to talk more about this later in other videos. But thank you guys for sticking around for some of the deadlift videos and some of the footage that we've been playing here. And I'll catch you guys in the next one. And I know I skipped last week for videos. I'm sorry, guys. But we have something awesome coming out. I did a collab with someone that I know who's an amazing photographer. His name's Sage, and I'll link him in my next video as well. But anyways, thank you guys for checking this out, and I will see you later on in this week for our second video. Prepare for the raid. Peace.